So I run this sleep support community, and it's absolutely beautiful, the level of healing I get to witness. And today I wanted to share about a theme that was brought up in our support call, and it's about the gifts that come from the resistances and symptoms in life, especially around sleep. There is so much power in seeing our challenge as opportunity. But before I dive in, for those that don't know me, I'm Daniel. I'm a sleep coach, and I spent 10 years with a debilitating journey with insomnia. Barely sleeping, was on death's doorstep, spent over $180,000 trying every different modality I could to heal. I now use what I've learned to heal my own sleep to support others in finding rest, healing, and vitality again. So feel free to check out the Healing Sleep community with courses, live calls, and a support group that is dedicated to healing. The link's in the description. Anyways, let's dive in. The gift of sleep challenge. This can be a hard one to see. It can be obviously painful and exhausting to be on that kind of journey. And I know it was for me. So often I truly didn't know how I'd get through the next day, let alone the next week, month, or year. But here I am. And it's so interesting to look back and see our pain as gifts. It's not easy to do in the moment, obviously, but certainly seems to be a shared sentiment once we get to the other side of that challenge, whatever that challenge may be. In the case of sleep, it can feel like a real rock bottom at times. You can literally barely have access to you because your health is stripped away because we can't survive without it, right? It's the same thing if you were trying to live off a few crumbs each day. We know that would be painful. We'd be confused. Our body would shut down in different ways. Sleep is similar, right? The challenge of sleep deprivation is so real. And I guess I'm going on a little tangent, but just like we do in my group all the time, I want to acknowledge the challenge so people don't feel so alone and crazy for feeling so rough. I want people to feel validated in their suffering because there's a whole world around us that doesn't always understand. And I have compassion for that because they honestly can't unless they've walked the path. But what was brought up in the group and what I know firsthand is the gift of hitting rock bottom. The gift of such intense resistance in our lives. We rarely change unless we meet resistance. And when we are met with an intense challenge in our lives, there is opportunity, if we can see it as such. In many ways, it forces our hand to go deeper within ourselves, more than we ever thought possible. Do far deeper listening in our bodies, healing work, meeting ourselves, loving ourselves. Some challenges can completely level us, causing us to have to let go of all the shoulds, all the ideal ways in which we thought life needs to be. And somehow we need to find our way to a different raw sense of self-worth, a sense of purpose beyond all the socially constructed or conditioned ways most of us have created them. I hope that makes some sense. Such a challenge can strip so much from us and it can be painful. But to dig deep and find and foster that sense of okayness in the process, that's something. I remember letting go over and over of this idea of having a normal 20s where I would, wake up feeling good, socializing, didn't feel like moving a mountain. I didn't go to bed in tears because of the pain of being fragmented from lack of sleep. And when I finally found myself letting that go, finding deeper acceptance of exactly who and what I am and exactly where I'm at. That's an acceptance that my path looks different, right? And I don't know what's on the other side, but can that be enough was the question. And there's so much power in surrendering to finding acceptance of that. And that is where I think the deepest healing begins. No doubt about it. In the surrendering of what is. Not giving up, but powerfully embracing where I'm at. And when I did that, that's when I could start to build from such a raw and honest place. And see, I know it's something that I would have never touched without being forced from that resistance and challenge of my own health. Now, I would say I would never wish this kind of suffering on anyone. But if you're going through a hard time of any sort, consider what the opportunity is there. Consider you are going through a growing process and on your way to more freedom in your body. What if the resistance we face, what if the sleep challenges you face are there to show you where you aren't free? Because at the end of the day, 99% of sleep issues I've seen are tied to some version of lack of safety in your nervous system. So I'll close with a question that I ask all my clients. What is the symptom of lack of sleep trying to teach you? Take your time with that question. Be spacious, be kind to yourself through this process, And for all those going through it, sending love.